Hello and welcome to Reality Check, where the Maha drama in Maharashtra shows no sign of letting up. At about this time, at 8:30, in fact, the NCP was supposed to meet the governor of Maharashtra and stake their claim, or at least either stake the claim or ask the governor for more time. Instead, President's rule in Maharashtra declared by the governor, because the NCP this morning apparently told the governor that they needed more time, the governor using that as a trigger to recommend President's rule, which the cabinet has declared. Now, what does this mean for all these political parties, bitter rivals who've been trying to come together? Well, it appears that despite the setback of President's rule, they at least seem to be taking a line that they will continue to talk. So we've had Ahmed Patel and senior Congress envoys fly to Mumbai and hold talks with the NCP, begin to hold discussions at least, and say that, look, the Sena just contacted us 24 hours ago, so we need time to talk, and it was wrong for the governor to have declared President rule in the interim. And then you had Uddhav Thackeray also repeating the same line, saying he too has contacted the Congress and the NCP formally just a day ago, and that therefore they will need time to work out a solution. This was the Shiv Sena leader just a short while ago.
वेगळ्या विचारधारेचे पक्ष हे एकत्र कसे काय येणार हा सगळ्यांसमोर पडलेला प्रश्न आहे. मग आम्ही भिन्न विचारधारेचे पक्ष एकत्र कसे येऊ हे आमचं आम्ही ठरवू, आणि जे ठरेल ते ठरल्यानंतर आम्ही पुन्हा आमचा जो काही दावा आहे तो करू आणि आपल्या समोर येऊ.
So Uddhav Thackeray there, I beg your pardon, saying that different parties of different ideologies will take time to come together, and Ahmed Patel of the Congress also saying that they will meet and talk and work out a solution.
कल पहली बार, जैसे अभी कहा गया कि अधिकृत तरीके से पहली बार कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट को फोन किया था और उन्होंने सपोर्ट के लिए कहा था कि हमें समर्थन दीजिए, लेकिन ये हमारा दायित्व बनता है कि हमारे जो सहयोगी हैं उनके साथ हम बात करें. शाम को 7:30 बजे से पहले सरद जी से बात हुई और ये तय किया गया कुछ बिंदु ऐसे हैं जिससे स्पष्टीकरण करना जरूरी है, उसके बाद ही कोई फैसला लेना चाहिए.
Also, Ahmed Patel, they're saying that we were just contacted 24 hours ago and that they will try to find a solution. But at the moment, it appears that the President's rule googly has created some amount of confusion. And will these parties be able to overcome that setback? Nalini Singh here in the studio with us. Nalini Singh, so, I mean, despite the fact that President's rule, and it appeared that this would throw these parties into disarray, they seem to be broadly taking the same line that, look, we've just started to talk, we will manage to overcome our differences, and it was wrong for the governor to have done this.
Yeah. So there appeared to be coordination between Congress, NCP, of course, and as also Shiv Sena. Shiv Sena also said kind of the same thing, Uddhav Thackeray said about the same thing. But I think, Vasu, on a lighter note, I think these parties are going to start charging entertainment tax after a while. Because,
You're right.
Of
I mean,
the way
reality TV can't compete with this. So.
Yeah, well, but I think on a serious note, what's happening is that there seems to be a, well, as I say it, I'm saying, is it true? But a new configuration in, seems to be emerging in Indian politics. BJP has been in pole position for 6 years, and extremely, it's actually for everybody to see.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a gathering of highly unlikely political partners to kind of emerge to challenge it. I mean, look at what's happening. You could see it in Gujarat. You saw it in Haryana.
Yes.
You saw it in Maharashtra. Now, even in Jharkhand, their ally, the All Jharkhand Students Union, has gone ahead and announced some of their own seats.
Right. So there seems to be some fissures. Let me just widen this now. We have with us on the show tonight, we have Rakesh Dwivedi, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, Aishwarya Bhati, also Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, and Mamta Kale here, leader of the BJP, joining us here in the studio. So let me just start with you, Mr. Dwivedi, because there has obviously been a considerable amount of pushback by these parties, opposition parties, to the imposition of President's rule. They've also gone to the Supreme Court with it. The manner in which it was done, do you believe that it raises questions?
Well, see, this is not a case where President rule has been imposed with a view to oust a party which is already in power with majority. This is a case where post-election, two parties who contested together had a clear majority, but they are not able to come to an understanding about sharing of power, and so they have fallen apart.
Right.
Now, so far as the parties who did not win the election, they have an opportunity to cobble up a majority. But as of now, there is no possibility appearing where they can come together. Their ideologies are different.
Right.
They contested with each other in opposition.
Right.
And it will take some time. Even if they succeed, it will take some time.
Okay.
So there is after 18 days of election result, there is still a stalemate. So therefore, I think the governor is entitled to come to a conclusion that for the time being, it seems there is a breakdown of constitutional machinery.
Right.
And the chief minister has resigned. So president rule is an option. But the important thing is that all the parties who are wishing to
Okay, so you're saying that the governor,
it is still open to them.
Okay, so you're saying the governor had reasonable basis to impose President's rule. Abhishek Singhvi, senior leader of the Congress and senior Supreme Court advocate, joins us. Abhishek Singhvi, the fact that the governor felt that people came to him, they didn't really have the numbers, he gave them a reasonable amount of time, and then he went for President's rule, but you still have the option in this time to come together and form the government. So why complain?
Sadly, Srinivasan, that's not true. And there are 3 or 4 facets which I think are being ignored. First and foremost, you see, from the Constituent Assembly debates, Ambedkar used the phrase rarest of rare case for 356, President's rule. It is a matter of last resort. It's not an option of first choice when everything else fails. What we have here for the last 2 or 3 days is a mechanical, routine, sequential procedure by the governor with no basis at all. That I call you first, give you 1 day, then I call the next man because I gave you 1 day, then I give 1 day. Now just consider, there is a fundamental qualitative difference between a BJP which says no because it knows it cannot form, does not have the capacity to form, therefore they say no, versus a Shiv Sena which says yes, we have the capacity, we want to form, give us time. Now there is absolutely no formula rigid as the way the governor seems to think that he must give them also 1 day. This is not a game, you know, this is a political aggregation which will take some reasonable time. Srinivasan, you know
Also,
very well
Abhishek,
that when they allow you to have a floor test to prove your majority on the floor, they give you 15 days, 10 days. Here it is ridiculous. It is like as if the governor is eager to go through the motions of a charade to call 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 day each, and then go for President's rule. It's unheard of. And let me tell you one more thing.
But Abhishek,
President's rule, it is
Let me ask you this though, that leave aside your criticism of the governor's action, what about the argument that it still doesn't, or President's rule still doesn't prejudice your chances of sitting down now and coming together, if you're able to come together, then go to the governor and form a government? What is the apprehension there?
I'm so happy you asked the question. This question relates to what they don't teach you at Harvard Law School. This is the real world, Srinivasan. The real world is, the allegation is, the strong sense is that the powers and might of the central government, inter alia through President's rule, is being used to buy windows of time. And those windows of time are to be used to use tactics, inverted commas, open and close. And we all know what those tactics are. To provide breathing space for others to form aggregations.
Right.
Number 2, assuming that the non-BJP formations which are immediately helped by this window of time. I mean, the BJP formations are helped, but the non-BJP formations decide to come together.
Yes.
It's all very well to say it doesn't, President doesn't hamper.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, if you say, okay, we have now decided to form the government,
Okay.
it takes their own sweet time for the central government to say, look, we will look into it, we will consider.
Okay.
Then they take
Abhishek.
a further 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks
Yeah.
to revoke. And we know what all this time shenanigans are
Okay,
being
but
used
Abhishek
for.
Singhvi, okay,
So it's
on
easy
the
to say.
okay, that's on the legal point, Abhishek. On the legal point, yes, you may suggest that this window of time would be used by the BJP to do jod tod. But on the political point, Abhishek Singhvi, the fact is that just looking at the manner in which these negotiations have been conducted in the past 24, 48 hours between all of you, very, very disparate political forces, it doesn't appear that there is any kind of coherence. I mean, the Congress itself seems to be deeply divided on the question of backing the Shiv Sena.
Srinivasan, that is precisely my point. A lot of people appreciate the principal stand a lot of people are taking. A lot of people appreciate that for there to be a long-term association
Yes.
or even a semi-long-term marriage, there have to be commonalities, and that takes working out. Well, that kind of working out is not a press button working out, as the governor seems to think.
Okay.
For this to work out, you need 3, 4, 5 days. 3 or 4 days is nothing for this. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
it's very easy for me to jump into bed with the Shiv Sena, but there are genuine issues.
Right.
Why should we not think it out? There are ideological issues.
let
And
me ask
tomorrow
you-
it is very easy to have a breakup with the NCP and the Shiv Sena.
Okay.
Why should they not take time
Let
to
me
have
ask you a final
common
question.
program, etc. worked out? This
Okay.
can't be done with a deadline which the governor seems to be putting up every half an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours.
Okay, let me ask you a final question, since you also operate on very tight deadlines. That what is your view, Abhishek Singhvi, as Abhishek Singhvi, on the Congress supporting the Shiv Sena? Are you for it or against it?
Srinivasan, I was asked the identical question in one of your other channels a short while ago.
Yes.
And I said, I will repeat what I said. I said, I have a very clear view, I have a definite view. But fortunately or unfortunately, possibly unfortunately, when I speak on channels, I don't speak as Abhishek Singhvi, except in certain rare cases. I have to speak as a spokesperson also.
On occasion
I will tell
occasion
in
you
private
do.
what my view is.
On
I will
occasion
tell
you
in
do.
private what my view is.
On
Now,
occasion,
sir.
on occasion you do. So
On occasion I do.
give us a
But
a sense.
this is liable to be highly misconstrued.
But give
This
us a
is going to
sense
be
of
highly
what you think.
misconstrued. I am not shying away.
No, no.
I have a very clear view. I have a
Yes,
very
and
clear
that is
view.
what? That you should support.
But
the
but I
Congress
can't
should
give that
support.
to you. Only over a cup of coffee. No, over a cup of coffee with you separately. Not today.
I can try to organize some coffee right now, but I don't know if that will, if we will
sorry,
have enough time for that. Well, I think I
maryada of a
I don't want to
prohibits
presume
me.
too much, but I think I know what your view is. But I'll take you up on your offer for a coffee later. But thank you, Abhishek Singhvi. We'll have to leave it there. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Okay, Aishwarya Bhati, senior lawyer of the Supreme Court, is with us. Aishwarya Bhati, you heard Abhishek Singhvi, your colleague in the Supreme Court. So he's saying that it's not right to compare the Fadnavis experience with the governor as the others. The BJP said, look, we don't have the numbers, so that's fine. But the Shiv Sena and the other parties are saying, we are with the numbers, give us more time. Why this tearing hurry? How do you respond?
So, Srinivasan, picking up from where Devedi sir was, of course, Dr. Singhvi is a very senior colleague. So is Devedi sir, and picking up from where he left, there is a difference when a president's rule is imposed. Either the assembly is dissolved or the assembly is put into suspended animation.
Yes.
So what has happened in this case is that the assembly has been put into suspended animation.
Yes.
Which means that the affairs of the state are directly run by the union.
Yes.
The legislature, they continue to get their emoluments, perks, everything.
Of course.
Only they
No, we're
can't
aware
carry
of
out
that.
any legislative action.
The question is on the haste.
So the point is that
The question
as
is
soon
on
as
the
the
haste.
majority,
The question is on the haste. Why the haste? I think that's the question being raised by Abhishek Singhvi and others. Why give everybody just 24-hour
See-
windows when we know realistically that you can't form governments in 24 hours?
See, I'm not somebody to comment on 24 hours or 42 hours. Probably what has weighed with the Honorable Governor is the fact that when he was giving time to BJP, it was a pre-poll alliance that he was giving time to, and they have not just, I mean, they fought on common agenda, on different seats and everything. So that time for others has to be differently calculated. But that's not the point. I mean, as soon as there is majority, as soon as a party goes and assures the governor, and you just need to bring letters for that. Just take those letters, take that letter of support and show to the governor that you have the majority, and this, the assembly will be back ongoing. So I don't know why.
Doesn't that require time though? That's the whole point. But you know, to the other point, if I can just bring in Mamta Kale, who's been listening patiently. Mamta Kale, how do you respond to Abhishek Singhvi's point that, because many people have made this argument, what's the big deal? You have President's rule, use this time to form a government. His response being, this is going to be used, or this becomes an opportunity for the BJP to do jod tod.
Vasu, firstly, let me remind everyone that this is not the first time when the President's rule has been imposed. You know, in past, it has been imposed for 132 times.
Yes.
And out of 132 times, it was Congress who imposed it 93 times.
Okay, but whataboutery actually is a counterproductive.
No, it is not whataboutery.
Because it makes you seem that you're both the same.
It's not whataboutery.
That's the risk of whataboutery.
These are the facts, Vasu. It is not whataboutery.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, as far as Mr. Singhvi saying that
where
was jod tod and where was the hurry, let me tell you, everyone was given equal time and enough time.
Factually,
claim,
that's not true.
If you claim, no, but
factually, that's not true. The BJP got 48 hours, everyone else got 24 hours.
So, Vasu, the BJP was given 48 hours, presuming that Shiv Sena and BJP had already was in talks and they will form the government. Number one. Number two, thereafter, everyone was given time. If they had the numbers, if they were talking to each other and they were claiming that we have enough numbers, we have support, that's what Shiv Sena had also said.
Yes.
So, I feel 24 hours are more than enough. You just have to produce those letters.
24 hours is enough to form a government? Okay.
You were supposed to produce the letters of the various MLAs.
Yes.
But I would like to counter that absolutely. Why did the governor, the Honorable Governor, not call the other alliance? Mamta is saying that the BJP-Shiv Sena were in an alliance, so he called BJP.
He called them. Yes.
I'm just saying, why did he not call NCP Congress as an alliance, which is actually the protocol?
Because they were the other pre-poll alliance.
The other pre-poll. The other thing is that also that the BJP had Devendra Fadnavis had a lot of time. He was talking to them. They were saying no. They were talking to each other. So I think that this would be something which is very disingenuous to say that equal time was given.
Let me ask.
But BJP was called because they have maximum numbers of seats.
Okay, let me ask Rakesh Dwivedi.
No, but thereafter Shiv Sena was also called and NCP was called even then.
Okay.
So all of them were called as per their seats.
Right. Rakesh Dwivedi, just a second. Rakesh Dwivedi, the point is that I think what did raise questions here is that the governor seemed to be following a certain kind of logic, which was that he was going in descending order, calling the single largest party first and then working his way downwards. He gets up to the NCP, gives the NCP an appointment for tonight, and then abruptly sends a report to Delhi declaring President's rule. He doesn't, not just does he not allow the NCP to come and meet him, he doesn't even give the Congress a chance, which logically, by his own logic, he was expected to do. I think it's this particular manner which I think has raised questions. What do you make of it?
No, I think this is not the right way of looking at the whole electoral picture which has emerged after the election.
Okay.
From the day the election results were out, all parties were free and they have had 18 days of time to cobble up such majority as they wished. They are responsible political parties and the legislators are responsible legislators. They know what they want. So all of them have had 18 days of time to cobble up a majority.
Okay.
There were differences known between Shiv Sena and BJP since long.
Right.
So NCP and Congress should have made up their mind rather than sitting and waiting that the governor first calls and BJP refuses and then they will start the negotiation. That's not how politics happens. All of them have been interacting since long.
Okay.
We have been reading in newspapers also that NCP
fact that
and Mr. Raut from Shiv Sena are meeting each other. So by
No,
now
but-
they should have cobbled up.
But Mr. Dwivedi,
But it is obvious that they have political
Mr. Dwivedi,
differences.
the only correction there is that a good part of those 18 days was spent with the Shiv Sena and BJP negotiating with each other. At that time, the Shiv Sena was nowhere indicating that it was willing to actually break that alliance.
Shiv
But who
Sena,
stopped NCP and Congress to talk to each other? They could have done that.
One second, Mr. Dwivedi. Yes.
so they were free to talk to each other. Why were they waiting on the fence and then waiting for them to fail and then start talking?
Okay.
And even now, let me tell you that even now it's not an easy task. They might still take another 15 days to negotiate.
Absolutely. They could take, I mean, technically they have 6 months. In fact, Uddhav Thackeray said, Nalini Singh, that we have 6 months, so we can still go ahead and do it. So to that extent, if it is going to take that much time, what was the governor meant to do? Was he meant to simply just keep everybody waiting and just allow the
It's a
situation to
caretaker
continue?
government.
That's a good question, and I think that there is no light, frivolous answer to that. But I think when it comes to, you see as a dispassionate governor,
Yes.
non-partisan,
Yes.
that one alliance which was everybody thought is going to occupy government posts, that's not working out. Then you see the other is three disparate parties,
Right.
then you have to give them time. I don't think it's pro rata, it's not proportional representation. By the way, that reminds me that the three together,
Yes.
I looked up, they have a vote share, this is Shiv Sena, NCP and Congress, of about 52 to 53%.
Right.
And the BJP would on its own have about 25%. So just to tell ourselves that
Right.
although we are calling it disparate, but maybe 52-53% of the voters are in this, they bought into this.
Okay,
But
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. So you're saying that they have a large vote share, but at the end of the day now, this is before the Supreme Court as far as the entire question of President's rule is concerned. Aishwarya Bhati, the Supreme Court, Sena has gone and challenged, saying we were in quote-unquote advanced talks with the Congress and NCP when the governor abruptly pulled the plug, threw us into President's rule. Do you think the court will grant them a sympathetic hearing?
Well, their lawyers claim that they've been asked to mention tomorrow morning before the CJI's court. Supreme Court will certainly give them a hearing. We don't know what will be the outcome of that. But I am still of the belief that, we could not have kept the state in suspended animation, the whole state itself. So it was better to just keep the assembly in suspended animation,
Right.
carry on with business. It is up to the parties. If they can still cobble up the majority, they can go
Right.
to the governor, they can show to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Ultimately, like Supreme Court has said, that the issue of majority on the floor is
Right.
not somebody's opinions. It is about how many people are giving those letters, and the
Okay.
floor test will show it all.
Okay,
So
last
that's all
word.
is required. Just cobble up with the numbers and walk up.
Okay, last word, Mamta Kale. Mamta Kale, the thing is that if you defend what happened today, because it is essentially people who you support who have done this, tomorrow, imagine if the Congress had done this. As you cited yourself, many instances where the Congress has misused President's rule. What if a Congress governor had done this to a BJP bid, and a Congress government at the center had, in 24 hours, said President's rule, called you in the morning for an evening appointment and then in the afternoon declared President's rule? Would you have defended it?
Vasu, firstly, let me tell you, BJP has not done anything. BJP was given the mandate by the
Okay, but would you have defended it if
Maharashtra
the
to
roles
form
were
the
reversed?
government, and BJP had very clear-cut intention to serve the Maharashtra state by forming the government.
Okay, you've not answered my question.
And they tried their level best from the day one, from
You're still
24th
not answering my
itself
question.
to form the
My
government.
clock is running
they had
out.
kept their doors open for Shiv Sena to come and talk to
Okay.
them. And it is the, it
Okay,
is,
I'm
it was
gonna-
the
I don't think I'm
BJP,
getting an
it was
answer
the
from you.
BJP.
Vasudev.
After
I think you're not getting an
77,
answer.
After
Vasu, you're talking-
77, it was BJP who gave a stable government and gave a chief
Okay,
minister
you're not
for 5
answering my
years.
question,
5
but I
years.
understand why not.
So,
Vasu,
Literally
you're
5
talking
seconds.
The clock is running out. Actually, the symbol of the NCP is the clock. It's a timepiece, and for them, the clock doesn't seem, because they are actually very strengthened by the president's rule, as is BJP.
Okay.
And BJP is back in the game, I think. And you should please ask. I could not follow enough Marathi. Did Uddhav Thackeray say today in his press conference half an hour ago that the doors for BJP and Shiv Sena to come together are still open? I'm not sure.
I believe he did, but we'll get the exact confirmation on that. We're out of time. Thank you all so much for joining us on the show and for watching. Good night.